So the next video we have is Miss Cameroon. So again, I see that she's been consistent with her cause, and that's the gender-based violence. She wants to be the voice for the young girls and the women that are suffering in silence. Now we all know, like what I've explained, you know, over 30% of the world, based on statistics, is there are a lot of women that are actually going through physical abuse, physical and emotional abuse. Now, because they don't have the means, they stay in the relationship or the marriage. It could be because of the kids, or it could be because of financial issues. Her organization is called the Voice for Justice. She has provided free training to over 50 young women. Wow. In partnership with the ICT University. So yes, she is working with the university to provide free training to empower these women. Financial independence. So this is a very good thing, because even like she said, you know, violence, sometimes it happens due to poverty. Some women, they don't have anything. They came into that marriage with nothing, and so-called the man is providing, and he's basically providing. Nothing wrong with a man that provides and a woman that stays at home, but we've always preached that women should empower themselves. It's very, very useful, so that no man can come to you and do anything, because the man knows you're financially weak. You cannot just leave, especially if there are no children. So she started this initiative to empower these women, get them into skill training, get them into an initiative. And I think that her advocacy is very, very good. This is very, very good, because this is something that I would actually do. So Miss Cameroon, yeah, her voice for change is up there. Miss Guinea, Conakry, Saran, of course. I feel that she's so underrated. I'm sorry. I just feel she's so underrated. But anyway, so her voice of change is also something that I've called. She's been consistent. So she, you know, hers one is, I think, FGM. So FGM, which is female mutilation. You have it in certain strict Muslim communities, so I guess it happens in her own country, Guinea, Conakry, and of course this is in regards to some cultures and some religious beliefs. And to be honest, FGM is of course considered, you know, it's considered female abuse. You know, the fact that you do this, it just doesn't make sense, and also it strips you away from human rights violation. And in case some of you don't know what it means or the type of impact it has, when you grow or whatever you're in your whole life, you can never have that feeling. Even when you make love, you cannot have that feeling. I had somebody a friend of mine who underwent that. That thing really destroyed her. I kid you not. I kid you not. You can never have that feeling during lovemaking. You cannot have that emotional connection. So they need to really do away with that type of thing. I'm not somebody to say what they need to do in their culture and tradition. Yes, we uphold cultures, but as we move on, certain things just need to go. And that's one of them. So I like that she's always on ground. They go advocating. They you know, they educate the community in regards to that. And of course, it's called, her in advocacy is called Empower Her, and this is to provide support to these women in need. They also provide mental health counseling, education programs, so many things. And of course, Empower Her helps women and girls heal and reclaim their future. So it's time to break the violence, support survivors, and create a future where all women can thrive. This is, of course, at the end of the day, an initiative that supports women that are vulnerable. And yeah, they kind of support it. So I think that's a good initiative. She has always advocated for this. Now, my opinion, what's the long-term goal? It's a good initiative, and of course you always have to start small, yeah, but is it like maybe, you know, because sometimes when you come with these type of things, they see that, hey, you're somebody who is against this community. Who the hell are you to tell us how we should run our tradition, how we should do things? And then they see you as the enemy the moment you actually speak out against this. Like, You know, they need to empower this in communities. They even need to make the men aware of the harm of this. You know, change the mindset. I know it's easier said than done, but it needs to start. You know, change the women's mindset. So not these short-term solutions, but you know what, Guinea is doing well. I support this. Next one we have Namibia. Again, same thing that I've discussed. If you've seen my previous video, she has the Growing Gardens project, and so she said based on food insecurity, and so she's trying to contribute. So she is contributing to the fight of poverty, specifically when it comes to food insecurity in some parts in Namibia. And I ask myself, damn, is it similar to what happened to Zimbabwe? You know, Zimbabwe's one kind of understood because they were sanctioned. That was even, whew, they did not deserve to go through that. But something like in Namibia, I did not know. Of course, it cannot be the whole of Namibia, but like, I don't understand why. Like, I guess Namibia, they import most of their things from South Africa, and probably they also, I'm not sure if they have enough farms, but this is a country that has low population. So I was just trying to see, wow, I didn't know it was really like that. But she is trying to at least work with the greenhouse companies and all that. It's all about feeding program and growing at least some of the items in your own garden, doing it long term, keep the consistency, and yeah, and do that long term. So I think that's a good initiative. It's good, step by step, of course. Yeah, step by step, step by step. Also, I'm not sure about the soil again of Namibia. You know, Africa is very, very diverse. You know, some people will think, oh, Africa, everything is the same. The soil varies in every African country, and let's say Central and West Africa, we have the most fertile soil. These are the regions with the most fertile soils. Central and West Africa, you can basically grow everything, you know. But I see sometimes there are certain challenges when it comes to the southern region and even some parts of the eastern regions too. You know, certain things are not grown. The usual, let's say, plantain, cassava. You know, some people would think, oh, Africa, we just grow everything. Plantain, it seems like plantain, cassava, it's not really grown in East and Southern Africa. Well, somebody said in Uganda they grow like plantain. I'm not sure if it's matoke, but I thought it was banana, you know, which is separate. So they don't grow certain things. But again, you know, yeah, but that's it. But I'm glad of her initiative. I think it's a very good thing that she's doing. So it's all about food. So then we have Kenya, Miss Kenya, sexy Kenya. Ooh, sexy Kenya. So in her case, her focus is more about the youth empowerment. Yeah, of course she highlights that Africa, where I think the continent that have the most youngest population, that's the one you target because she's thinking long term. So I think she wrote a book about, it's called the Self-Belief book. It's retails at a very affordable price, and this is for the young ones. So she provides a guideline through life. It's a very educative book for these young ones. So it the book contains like financial empowerment and everything that's needed. And so I believe that she said that the proceeds of those books actually go to the I think it goes to the charities. I think she said one that's a neuro something and all that. Basically, some of the charities with the youth that have disabilities. So it goes to them, and I think that that's a very, very, very good thing. To be honest, I need to buy your book. I'm going to buy your book. Now, I know I'm old and all that, but I would like to buy your book, at least also for my daughter and everything. That's really, really a good initiative. Well done, Miss Kenya. So, yeah, I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And they have to be advertising those books. In fact, Miss Kenya, please focus on even distributing it throughout Africa. Don't limit it only in Kenya, please. Because it's a really, really, really good thing. We need to guide the youth, set them on the right path, and it's all with one mindset. So yeah, I think that's good. Now last is now now we have Somalia. Now we all know that Somalia, she was a refugee. We know of the insecurity of Somalia. You know, the media considers the country as a failed state. It is what it is. Yeah, so we know that in her case, she I think she her family fled to a refugee camp in Kenya, where she stayed till, you know, I think till she was 10 years old before she moved to Canada, and she was provided with a better life. But I think her focus is more, in the beginning it said like her focus is more about the refugees, the refugee being displaced, you know, supporting them, what they go through, the fact that they don't have basic needs like healthcare and other things. And in her case, then it diverted to, in her case, that she was an ambassador for Smile Train, which is in regards to this whole cleft thing and all that. I've been seeing their adverts on the TV, because I believe she insinuated that something like that happened to her, and so because of that they went to Canada, and you know, she had a better life and all that. And to make a long story short, she said that of course she's their ambassador, and her goal is to launch a global awareness campaign, and that her goal is to launch global awareness campaign. So from what I'm seeing from the video, and based on what she's saying, it's more like it's just campaigns, advertising, you know, the usual charity advert and all that she's doing, which, to be honest, I'm not blaming her for it. I think it's okay, it's good, but sometimes we need you on the ground, honey. We need you on the ground. Like, for example, what we see with Miss Congo, we need you on the ground. We need to see you in these refugees. Now, if you've actually been there, because it was not in your video, if you've been there and we didn't see, then I apologize. But then if that's the case, you should have included it in this video. We need you in these refugee camps. We need you to inspire them. We need a long-term solution in regards to this displacement, about so many things. You know, the reason why I'm saying this is that, especially here in the UK, we keep seeing these bloody adverts about Africa. Oh, we see these adverts, charity, he lives on less than $1 a day, can't you see they're suffering, help them. And listen, this economy is hard. This economy is hard. There are some people that don't have disposable income to be putting money in this. And then now people find that charity has become a sham, because you know how many people have been sending money for charities to do this, to donate, and then what's happening? Okay, you raise a campaign for our awareness, but then somebody will say that, for example, Somalia has been like this for God knows how long, for how many years now, you know. Then they'll say that, and I'm just talking about critical, let's provide critical feedback. Yeah, somebody will say that, why Somalia, why are they not moving back to try and empower their country, move on? Because the fact that it's considered a failed state is so brutal. Like, why won't we build our country? Because then if this is the case, then every single time we'll be having the same refugee issue, you know. Oh, it's unrest. And also the government, of course, has to do something about this. The government has to do something about this, because it cannot continue. Yeah, so last but not least is Zambia. Yeah, and Miss Zambia, or your team, the background sound was bad. You know, we could not hear it, you know. Hopefully, when you do things like this, be in a quiet room, proper mic, and then say your story calmly. Yeah. Because the background sound, and also you had sound in the background, I could not hear anything. But to make a long story short, you know, her charity, they I think what I caught is, because the other one was the usual charity case, help the community, etc., etc., but it's more child focused, and so they created a child helpline. So this is in regards to child labor, child marriage, gender inequality, And then she also empowers women with vocational skills, the ones that work in creative handcrafting and all that. And I said, okay, that's good. The helpline is really good. It really, really helps. So yeah, I think that's good. That's really, really good. Yeah. Now, so guys, tell me what you think about it. Who caught your yeah, who caught your attention during this voice of change? Also, like I said, my video, listen, we need to sometimes be critical to grow. It's not that I'm bashing somebody or dissing somebody. No, we just need to question these things, because at the end of the day, you know, these are powerful charities. This is your initiative that you need to do from your heart. Don't do it because, hey, it's at the end of the day, it's just a requirement that I have to do for Miss Universe. It's one of these things that you have to do. It's very, very important. It's the impact that you make in the society, and from there you grow on and you grow on. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think. Thank you once again. Bye bye.